My name is Nina. Came from Kiev, but born in Mariupol. All my family in Mariupol. Mariupol is my native city. In Austria, I'm living since start of June. I come the 3rd of June, I think. Yeah, and then I stayed during 2 weeks in Vienna, and then moved to Medellin. Now I'm living in Medellin. I've come first. I was evacuating from Kiev to at the beginning of March. Actually, it was 28th of February when I was evacuated by bus to Bulgaria, and was staying in Bulgaria during 3 months, and then come here. Ukrainians didn't expect such things. That's why at the beginning there were no any evacuation organized. It was 24th of February when the explosions and everything started, and it was just near the Kiev because they were going to invade Kiev, occupied Kiev in very fast. They were hoping this. 24th, 25. It was really very hard because we were sitting all the time in the basement. I spent a night, like in 21st of February, spent a night with my son in the basement, and I decided that I can't do it anymore because it's too hard. You can't sleep, anything. And we come back home, but at home we were living on surroundings, and each day a Russian army were moving very actively, and so every day was battles on the streets, and we had these hours when we can't go out, and from 25 I started searching ways to escape, because during the day you have a lot of news, and they were trying to shoot into water pump where was the water, and electricity, and it was just near our house. If they would do it, it just could be our district could be destroyed. And that's why I decided that I can't just sit like this, and like I had during the days some missiles came into my friends' houses, and I was just decided to search something, and I found that Ukrzaliznytsia, it's our railway station, opened evacuation trains.
Yes.
And I started writing to my family to Mariupol because I was worried about them more about than Kiev. I understand that they are just on the front line, and I was worried about them that they can't escape if it will be the same way, because in Mariupol 24th, 25th until 1st of March it was less and almost nothing, and they were not worried, and they were writing me that, come on, why are you worrying, everything is fine, no, nothing, we are get used to it, come on, it's only, we already heard such, but they can't imagine what is really happening in this moment in Kiev. And I was decided to try my chance with Ukrzaliznytsia, and I with my son in the morning, like in 4 a.m. I decided to try to get the train because it was going from at 5 a.m. 50. And the railway station underground was not working. And yet, and so I was trying to call a taxi, but it was already impossible because all the time was shooting and battles on the street, and taxis was really scared to come, and also it was hours when you can't, it's forbidden to go, it's very dangerous. and just before several cars was just shooted with families that were going by car there, with dogs and kids were killed like on the street near us, our house. So nobody came, and we decided to wait a little bit while shootings will not be so close, and try to just go through the yards, you know. We had a cat also, so we took our cat and some small backpacks with some stuffs with food, like, you know, for, like, you know, fast food, to have something. And we're trying to, little by little, passing through the houses. And I, of course, agreed with my son what to do if, for example, missile will come to us, how to lay down, what to do if he lost me, how he can find the way, what he should do, and such things, how he could be more safe if the bomb is coming just near us, so to save himself. It's really was terrible, and we were lucky to get to the underground, but as it was not working, we first time saw that a lot of people just living in this underground on the you know, on the floor, and this was the moment when you realizing that it is really war, it's not something, and you sometimes you saw it in a movie and you never even can imagine this. And you always I was looking on the people and understand that I'm the same in this situation, and I'm like, you know, homeless. I can be homeless without anything, and I would stay with my son just in this. And there was so much turning around my world at all. My exception of refugees and people from Syria, from that I was seeing before when I was traveling. Because you always think, when you see people, you always think you feel that you regret that it has happened with them, but you never think that it could be happened with you. And this is really something that is not true. In this moment, when you realize this, world become totally different. You understand that it's really we are equal. We can be, everything can happen with anybody. And then we can't manage, actually our story was not successful that day, because when we come to the station that should go to the train, I already bought a ticket. It was broken by battles, and the train just was not going anywhere. We just stuck in the middle of underground. And I was worried, because every time I was news that again battle and air attack and Syrians coming. So I decided to come back home, and my son was existing to go by foot to the railway station, because like he was so much already ready to do this. But I insist come back. And just in 10 minutes we back home. Underground stopped working and it was closed. And we was lucky, because in other way we will stuck there for 3 days, like in somewhere in the middle of underground, without water or something. So this day was then the whole city was closed for 2 days, and we can't go out to the streets, because it was special. Only people who has guns, who works for Teroborona. It's like territory forces, like forces that helps to protect
the military.
Yeah, So 2 days we were sitting in our house, but I already not go into the basement. We start making community with our neighbors. We were checking roof and our how to say our building, because there were also some lights and some mini bombs, you know, that they people just agents, like spies. There were a lot of spies, and they trying to make bombs somewhere in the buildings, and we were checking this all. And then when it was over, we decided to go out to the shop because all our foods already stocks are in my apartment already finished. And we decided to go a little bit far because in our shop that was open already, there were no food anymore, no meat and such things. So we decided to go to risk and go by car. Anyway, it was forbidden, but we decided to do it. And we come to the little bit farthest shop. And while I was in this shop, I bought a lot, like for 10 days, because I thought that 10 days, yeah, and everything will.
Yeah, you were thinking that.
Yeah, and I bought a lot of foods, and in this moment, some my friend that I have not had a sign, I think about 10 years, he called me and told, Nina, you have like 10 minutes to decide. Now in near Bulgaria council, there are buses that could take you to evacuate you from here to Bulgaria. And I told him, okay. I back to my son and start talking to him, but he was like refusing, because last our try was not successful, and he didn't believe already that it could be possible. So in 10 minutes I told that I can't go, and like in 3 minutes later he called me back and told me, come on, it's really could be a good, maybe one safe chance, then, because there were no any new buses from there, you know, on this, because it's council is more protection and such things. And I told okay, and I talked to my son again, and we just took all stuffs. I put price for the taxi already, nothing, we're working, no transportation, nothing, it's impossible to go somewhere by metro or no transportation. So I just were hoping that I will find a car, and I put on the service like 5 times more than it costs usually, and the man came and he took us. During all our trip, I was praying not to be shooted, because it was still on with battles and fires and such things. But we were successfully coming, and then we were going like 4 days, like 4 days in this bus. We didn't know where we will go, where we will stay. We just were coming, and the most dangerous was first night, because it was just near us, tanks were shooting, and I saw by my eyes like when it's shooting, and it was Russian technique. And just near the border, some men were trying to turn around our bus, like they were insisting that we stop, and they were shouting and knocking on everywhere. It was really scary, but somehow we just moved, because we were without lights going, and our driver were very professional in this. And after, it was just long trip, different ways. Yeah, in Bulgaria I decided to stay during 3 months, because when I came there, I understood that people just don't know what's happening. And actually it was 1st of March already, and I came to 3rd of March there. So since 1st of March, I lost my communication with my family, and it was also really terrible because I was reading what happenings there, and I just don't have any sign where they are. Uh, is if they together or they alone? What happening? It was terrible. And in Bulgaria, when I came, a lot of people didn't believe that it's Ukraine suffering. That they were discussing that it's maybe not be so obvious. Maybe Russian is not bad, you know. Yeah, so I stayed there, and during 3 months I was helping with media, working with media, and helping to tell more what's happening really, so people to know. And then I
And why Austria? Why did you came here?
here because at the beginning I have here friends that I was met far long ago. In 2006, we were on a traineeship in Lithuania, and this was our foreign family, like from every country. Yeah, and first of all, Alex is my friend who is here, and Paco. They told me, come to Austria. Here is safe, and we can help you and to support you.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So I just made this 3 months that I can spend without refugee status in Bulgaria by visa, just like by tourist visa.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it was over, I come here already to settle.
And how is the help that the Austrians have given to the to the refugees, to the people like you?
Mm-hmm. Actually, here is what people get first is help, financial help, but you need to register first, and it of course took time. For me personally, it was easier because I had Alex and Paco. Yeah, so it's really important. But as I know from other Ukrainians, that it took like a lot because in different places people could go again wrong way. They should come back, and such things happens. But at all, first of all, you have financial aid. It's I get 615 euros. It's 350 euros for rent, and another for food for me and for Kim, for my son. Yeah, and there are no social accommodation here, apartment or something like this. There are programs, such program, but it's not work because there are no such free places.
Mm-hmm. So you have to found a place, a room, a rent room, or an apartment.
Now I'm searching for a room, for a flat in Medellin where I stayed. Because anyway, now I am living in house of Alex, but I can't live there with son all the time, you know. So I'm searching for rent, but this help actually even would not be enough for rent, because the rent in Medellin costs like 650, a little bit more.
And how do you find? What do you think of the possibility of finding a job? Would it be easier?
Especially for me, I have found some vacancies here already. So, but I didn't had an interview yet. I didn't offer myself. because I have a business PR agency that in Ukraine that is I still have some help
Do
from.
you still work for the Ukraine?
I'm still help doing some stuff that they already paid me before. So I have some savings, and so that is why I can not search just now, because I decided to settle with accommodation and such things, and then decide what to do next. Because if I find a job, I would not have this help.
Yeah, right, for this.
And also there are problems that there is a problem that if I will have money from my business agency, then also I will lose this help.
Okay.
And this is also
So this help, this aid that you get from the Austrian state,
yeah,
is conditioned to that you don't have any other
yeah,
incomes.
yeah.
Okay.
So, and this amount is really small one and not enough, I think. But I hope I heard that last week it was new. They decided to add some more new, but it's not big.
And how do you think about the future? Let's say that the war will finish in 1 month. What would you do? Would you come back?
First, I don't think it's finished 1 month, because
No, I don't think so,
yeah, because actually the target of Russians is not only Ukraine. We can understand it from the actions that they doing, and all the attacks they have, and they not actually Ukraine was just closest and easiest to influence on Europe. But what I do when the war will be over? I will come back for sure, because I need to help my relatives. My mother's still in Mariupol, in the occupied area, and my brother with his kids and all my other family have like 20 people who is there. And also, of course, I lose some of them were forcibly evacuated to Russian territory. Some of them, my uncle was killed during this Mariupol period of bombing. Yeah, so I want to come back and to help them and to do, because I'm definitely don't want to lose my business. I want to be an entrepreneur as I was before. I was an entrepreneur all my life. I remember when I was become adult. I can work for 1 year for somebody, but still it's not. I don't feel so much happiness about this, you know.
And how do you think that is the what are the feelings of the Ukrainian community right now in Austria? Do you think they are somehow optimistic? What are the thoughts about their future?
Yeah. A lot of people really come back home to Kiev, because in Kiev, even if they have bombs, they feel that they see people who understand them, their problem, their pain. And of course, here, you know, when you are living all your life here, it's very hard to understand what feels person. Why is she not going for example, all vacancies that were coming to Telegram channel of Ukrainians that in Medellin, for example, where I'm, it's about cleaning and working as in a bar and such things. But women who came here with their kids, they already have higher education. They were with a good job, I would like to see people who is like thinking wise that Ukrainians so much don't want to work in such things. I would like to see them if they would be in this place, if they now being top manager come to other country and they be told that come on, go to clean, you have war, you need to clean.
Yeah.
It's they feeling actually not good, of course, because of such things. But there are help. I don't want to look that like I don't want to say that people not want to say thanks.
They are not grateful.
They grateful.
For the help that they are.
They are grateful because really I don't know how it could be without this help. It's really different from before, the years before, when people were also refugees from other countries. Yeah, it's different. A lot of countries in Europe just helping and supporting Ukraine. It's really meaningful and it helps. But still, it doesn't like that's. There are other sides, and that's why people dream to come back home.
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
Yeah.
And the other members of your family, the other relatives, are in different countries. You have said that they were forced to emigrate or to go to Russia.
Evacuated. Yeah, they were forcibly. My cousin, with her kids, were firstly evacuated to Russian territory, and actually Russia have done like 200,000 people from Mariupol, because Mariupol is 500,000 people. It's 500,000 people city that were destroyed. More than 100,000 people died, were just killed there in bombs. And 200,000 with kids. It's kids like 60,000, around 60,000 of kids were just forcibly evacuated to Russian territory somewhere on Siberia. And we actually have proofs, and now we have we are gathering all facts about this. And my sister was trapped in the left side of Mariupol. It was first place, the first location that is near to Donetsk national, so-called Donetsk National Republic. And first that Russia starts bombing, and they just cut it from other parts, so nobody can help them. And they in 2 weeks, like they were bombing them just any minutes, it was bombs. And after 2 weeks they come and told, you see, your government doesn't want you.
Yeah.
Your government let you out, they don't help you, and we will help you. This is buses, go. And they really were without, just they stuck in basement without food. They were not prepared that one of them, like my sister, she came for evening just to spend night in a bomb shell, because in the night it's more dangerous. They started bombing since like 6 hours in the evening, 6 p.m. till 6 a.m. It's really bombing. So she spent there, she was thinking that she will spend there just a night, and stuck there for 2 weeks. There were no food, it was -10. They eat one candy for 100 people, boiling it in dirty water that they grabbed from the snow. They were trying to on a fire, going out from the basement. To people, they're trying to make a fire and to prepare something to have. And in these moments also in these moments really they also start shooting. A lot of people just were killing by pots. Some troops were lying just there in the basement. It's really dangerous and awful. And so they took these evacuation buses and were come in some area in some city in Donetsk Republic, and there was filtration camp. In this filtration camp, they spent like a day without food, and one by one they were called by Russian FSB, how it's Federal affairs. This, and they were even children, even kids. They were checking mobile and threatening and asking who was bombing you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and yeah, that's why they were lucky in place in Russia territory in Rostov-na-Donu. My cousin has ex-husband and he had relatives there, and they called to that relatives and refused to go to train, and that was they were lucky to have to stop on this point, not to go somewhere far away. And my relatives were lucky. On the 17th of March, I had information that on some area out of Mariupol, close like 10 kilometers from Mariupol, still there are electricity, and I was trying to tell them to write them at Viber or somewhere. Anybody I have numbers, I wrote this message, and I was praying to have contact and somehow. And my brother, he's older me 11 years, so he's 50 plus now, and he decided like to be brave and go to the roof because already they spent 17 days in this basement to watch, to look what is happening at least. But there were no connections, nothing but internet. Somehow in some places we're lucky to have, like, you know, if you are lucky you will have some messages. Sometimes it could be like this. So he get my message, and this I didn't know would he get or no, but I was hoping, and he got, and they decided to try to escape from there, and that was a luck, because after they escaped, this basement where they were hiding were bombed and destroyed. So if they will stay there, they will die. And now they are still living in that area and just going for couple days. My mother can't leave this apartment because it's very for her it's a memory. It's not only about place to live, but about my father, because he died in 2013 of cancer, and for her it's
yes. It's okay. Do you have regular communication with your family now? The communication is better.
Now is better. They have Wi-Fi when she comes when she gets in some places. She's trying me to write. We can't communicate in any moment, but we can do it in some days. It could be like in a week we can do at least one time, and this helps.
And I have a curiosity. Where are your cats?
Our cat is with us. I think this is really good because it's a girl. She helps us to not stress, because she really feels what we feeling, and when we feeling very hard. Yeah, great. Yeah, she's just coming and trying to calm down, and it really helps. So I'm really lucky to have her.
When everything began in February, and I was watching the news, and it was terrible. Uh, you can believe that it was that what I was thinking. If this come until one point that we have to go away from here, what do we do with the cats? And it is something that people that doesn't have animals don't understand. They don't understand it,
Yeah,
and it is something really important for people.
very, yeah. Yeah, it's true because in Ukraine we had a lot of also situations when people just left their animals
Yeah,
and their pets, and
It is a member of the
because
family.
in one, but you know, all governments decided to help people with pets. It was because just people didn't know, and it was sad. You know, it's like some kind of checking.
Yeah,
How do you treat your pet? And I can't imagine. I lived here alone at Kiev just, and some people were leaving because they were thinking that they will go to week and then come back. And it's really sad when you see a lot of situations when animals pets just dying in this apartment. It's really
yeah.
terrible.
hmm They are like kids.
Yeah,
You have the feeling that you have a small kid
yeah, true.
depending on you.
Yeah, of course, yeah. But they are like helping you also.
Yeah, they are helping you, of course, of course.
Yeah.
Well, I think that we have covered almost everything. Thank you very much
Thank you, Parker. It was
for
really
for
nice.
this conversation, and yeah,
Yeah.
good luck.
Thank you. Good luck too.
I am sure that you will have a very good time.
Ah, thank you.